Hey, today I want to talk about how traveling can change your world and why everyone needs to travel at some point in their life. There are many types of traveling. Some people travel to leave their home country, some people travel for a vacation, and so on. Before I leave my home country, I thought, yeah, I know the world. I thought, I know how things work. I thought, well, how big this world can be anyway. But after I left my home country, personally, I left it for a reason. Not only for a vacation, not only to escape from life somewhere else, to rejuvenate, relax. I actually left for the search of life itself. And gladly, eventually I found it. Before I leave, I did not know how big this world is. I did not know that I don't know anything really. I did not know that my culture is not the only culture. I did not know that things could be way different than it is right now. And what was that time wasn't a really good time, it wasn't a great time. And I did not know how to change it really, honestly, because I was inside the box of that culture, let's say. I was inside the box of that conditioning, let's say. I was just simply inside a very different program than someone else another place in the globe. This geographical determinism really plays a big role in one's life, really. I don't know if you know what's geographical determinism. It means between 198 or 200 countries. I personally happen to be born in Iran. Between 10,000 known religion, maybe more. I happen to be Muslim. Between millions of names, my parents decided to give me the most common name in the world, Muhammad. The combination of these give me one of the weakest passport on this planet. Like, when I was born, they looked at me, oh, this guy looks like he believes in Islam. Let's burn it on his forehead gave me the name Muhammad, and you can't even change it, at least with the rules of my limited passport of a country. If you have a religious name, especially Muhammad, you cannot ever change it. Can you believe that? You can't even change your religion. Can you also believe that? Anyways, I'm just gonna keep you here because I think it's pretty sunny. And you will be, oh, I can just be this way. Yeah. That's geographical determinism, And imagine how much of this define one's life. At least I personally know a lot about it because I have dealt with many issues in my life regarding to my passport, regarding to my name. I have been held in airports for long times and interrogated, or all of these things, And all of these things always gave me a chance to observe the world closely, All of these things gave me a chance to be whoever I am. And gladly, I'm pretty happy where I am, So yeah, this person's world with that passport that is kinda even weaker than a dog passport, for example, somewhere behind the dog passport, like a dog can travel more countries than I can travel with my Iranian passport, What the fuck, really? I hate dogs. Yeah, only joking. Only joking. But you get the point, So every Muhammad in this world somehow will end up being crazy anyway, I'm just letting you know why the world is this way. We have millions of Muhammads. So, the world has enough Muhammad to have a very different world, But I had to change my world at least. I'm not really bothered with other Muhammads. I'm just trying to let you know that that's how it works. There's a reason the world is just not functioning well, because every person, not every Muhammad, every perhaps Maria, maybe also that's a very common name in the world, the most common name, Maria. Maybe every Maria also has its own tiny, small box of life, tiny, small culture, tiny, small. I can't talk, man. Like, how can I talk, really? I just come here to talk. Isn't this absolute disgrace? I think the seagulls are not happy I'm here. I just don't like them to attack me. I'm fine with every other thing. They can make all noises they want. Damn, there are plenty down there. I don't know if you can see it, but I will give it a try. Oof. Yeah, you know, they did once attack me, and they did once shat on me, so I don't really like their defense mechanism. It's not so friendly. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe it's their territory. Maybe I am just another Muhammad fucking up with their culture. But I like to sit there, man. Hopefully they will leave me alone. I don't like this communication they're having right now. They're just telling each other, yo, Muhammad's approaching. We'll see. So you understand where I'm coming from? This world has so many tiny human brains that tries to somehow make it better than the other tiny human brain. This is something that you got to realize. This is something that is not an insult. It's like a tiny human brain in every skull. And that comes with, downfalls. It's not that easy. And then imagine billions of those skulls going around. Some of them named Muhammad, some of them named Jesus, some of them named Krishna, some of them named Maria, some of them named any other type of geographical determinism. And these people, most of their life, their world is pretty small too. They don't go beyond the boundaries of their own territory. They don't go really beyond the boundaries of their own country, let's say. I personally found traveling, I personally found coming out of your comfort zone, Bilbo Bagging style, not being able to have two breakfasts, like only one breakfast. The journey starts, maybe sometimes less, maybe sometimes you sleep on a hard ground instead of a comfortable bed. All of these things comes with traveling. All of these things comes when you leave the culture that you've been raised to behind. Outgrow your environment, perhaps, and let go. I mean, you could also go for a vacation, that doesn't matter. But just going out of it, it broadens your horizon. And it will truly change your life and truly change your world, because the world around us is not really true. The world around us is made up. Like, literally behind the surface is all ugliness, is all misery and suffering. Behind the screen is all corruption. Travel, my friend, travel. You don't need to seek for meaning in life, you don't need to seek for anything. Just travel. If it comes along your way, if you can afford it, travel. Get out of that comfort zone. The only way you can demolish this depression is by traveling. Put your life in a backpack and leave. Maybe not that extreme, you know. I'm sharing my experience with you. You don't need to do what I did. You can just simply do it slow, do it gradually. You can do it one night at a time. You don't need to leave and not look back. Just go out there, put yourself out there. And I promise you, your world becomes so big that it's literally changed, and you cannot recognize the previous world anymore. You cannot recognize the old world. People travel for many reasons. Choose one and go. And if you don't have the money, there are still ways, you know. You gotta just find it, look for it, how you can travel without money. Soon you realize your legs really get you far, you know. Soon you realize there are many shelters around the world. At least if you are in a, you know, sophisticated country, you look around, there are many free shelters you can stay. You can walk from one shelter to another shelter. And it doesn't need to be that difficult, you know. Go for a 1 week camping trip, but travel, you know, just move, extend your everyday life, extend your everyday life to a new possibility, you know. You cannot just be in this mundane, unintelligent world. You cannot be in this state of depression. And perhaps one day you come to this understanding that I know nothing, you know, absolutely nothing, like absolutely nothing. Maybe one day you meditate and you realize that you are just fooling yourself. every day. And then things simply change after you realize this, after you truly realize this. So many of you might think, oh, you know yourself. So many of you might think, oh, yeah, I know I fool myself every day. But no, I'm not talking about what you think right now. I'm talking about when you see the world. When you see the world, when you see the world, you come at ease. You become at ease with the world. Then when you see it, you cannot fool yourself. It's like it's impossible to fool yourself. That's where you realize that you did not know anything. You thought you knew, but you don't know. And that's the tricky business. That's the part that I cannot really tell you anything about because you wouldn't know. How would you know? Anyways, I think I will meditate a little bit for myself with this world, with the seagulls, with the ocean. I really enjoy hanging out with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really enjoy hanging out with you. If you would like to extend this hangout, if you would like me to know you, if you would like me to simply be your friend and companion in life, maybe consider joining the community that we have. Plenty awesome people already there. And don't be afraid of me so much. Because all I gotta do is that to prepare the environment for you to see things in a different light, to see things in a different way. And I'm pretty good at my job, let's say, if you want to call it a job. Somehow, with pay or without pay, this is my job. And I cannot escape it. And I promise you, I'm good at my job. You just gotta give me a chance. You just gotta trust me, allow me to be there for you. And this is not only for men, also for women. I don't want women think that I am directing all these videos to men just because I'm looking for men. No. I'm always talking about the men inside, the man inside, the man that rules the world, the man that functions on a very corrupted state of mental mentality. But honestly, I'm looking for women more than men. That did not sound right, huh? That did not come out very well, but it doesn't matter. The truth is there. I feel like if we need to change this world, if we need to really look at the world with a new perspective, we need women. Like, that's the only way if we really want to free ourselves from the agony of corruption, from the suffering of war, from the misery of greed and power. We need women. And I'm not talking about politics. I don't mean women in politics. Those are just men in disguise. I'm talking about truly healers. I'm talking about truly people who have the capacity to heal others, and those are only women. That's why in the whole history, when men becomes enlightened, everyone must know, not only alive, even the ones comes in the future, everyone got to know Jesus was enlightened. But no one talks about women that they are enlightened every day. I mean, yeah, we did burn witches back in the days, millions perhaps. Maybe that was acknowledgement enough. But generally speaking, I came to this realization that women got it. Like, simply they got it and they can just transfer it to men. Although, women also been raised by men. You know, it's like it's a cycle that I would like to help people to break. Anyways, don't be afraid of me so much and maybe join the community. Let's do something nice together, huh? And you take care of yourself. Much love.